I got my start in the video game industry working on sports games. I love sports games. I have loved them since I was a kid. I love them today, but I happened to work at Electronic Arts at the perfect time because it was when arcade sports games were at their absolute best. Games like SSX, games like Shocks, like Sledstorm, like Freakstyle, amazing titles that took physics and took what the actual way a sport was played, just kind of threw it out the window a little bit and let you have a whole lot of fun with a lot of ridiculous gameplay. Today I am giving you the 10 greatest arcade sports games of all time, and I think it's only fair that we start with a game from EA Sports Big, which I think is possibly the greatest basketball game of all time.
You know, being on a rooftop in Spanish Harlem, there's no other replacement for it in the world. So brace yourselves, folks.
NBA Street Volume 2 is my all-time favorite basketball game. I think it is one of the absolute best sports video games ever made. Doesn't matter if it's arcade sports or straight up regular sports simulation. I love this game. It is magnificent. It has some of the best gameplay, some of the best experience. It feels like it's a street ball game. It's trying to be a street ball game and it succeeds. It's amazing. There's nothing that this game does that I look at and go, that's not great. It's just a perfect sports experience from top to bottom. The ability to play as legends of the game, to be able to play as 3 different versions of Michael Jordan, to play as a team full of only Michael Jordan, was ridiculous and kind of mind-blowing. The game breakers are spectacular. The graphics look great. The soundtrack is fantastic. It is legit one of the greatest sports games ever made, and something that, to me, is the perfect example of what made EA Sports Big great. They took a risk, they made something magical, and it's still fondly thought of now 24, almost 25 years later.
Picking your pockets with a toothpick.
Breathe.
It's so windy.
Take the wind into account.
Hot Shots Golf 4, or Everybody Loves Golf, whatever one you want to call it. I love this franchise. Have loved it ever since the first time I played it. I think it is one of the best golf franchises out there. And it's a great golf franchise that does everything a traditional simulation golf franchise does. It just does it with more style and more pizzazz. Dare I say it? Yes, I dare. The character selection is great and a little bit over the top. All the characters play a little bit different. Your caddies are ridiculous and very vocal and will talk to you as you're playing. The gameplay loop is really fun. The course design is wonderful. It is just a fun golf game. And it plays similarly to classic traditional golf games, stuff like even kind of like the Tiger Woods games that were releasing at the time, but it does it with a style and kind of a panache that those games didn't have. It leans into the absurd, it leans into the ridiculous, it leans into the fun. Whereas Tiger, while I loved those games and I really enjoyed working on them, was decidedly more about being serious and trying to kind of showcase the majesty of golf. You don't get majesty with Hot Shots. You get fun. You get ridiculous. You get awesome.
Stop breathing. Trapped.
It's okay. I still love you.
Not at all.
The Game Boy Color had a fantastic, small library of games, but one of the greatest on there was Mario Tennis. And while this isn't necessarily a hard arcade sports game, it's definitely not a traditional tennis game either. There's a lot to be said here for what this game does. First off, the gameplay inside of it is solid. It's really fun. The characters all play a little bit different abilities, different skill sets, different speeds and movement and things like that. It's just a great game. And it connects to the N64 version as well, which I think is pretty cool. But that's another story for another time. This is probably my top 5. Yeah, I think this is probably in my top 5 Game Boy Color games. I think it's just a wonderful game overall, and just a really strong example of what the team at Nintendo was able to do when putting together design documents for a sports game. This is just a fantastic game. Love it. Love every second of it. One of my favorites on the console. This one goes down as the biggest miss I have ever had in any of my ranking videos. When I originally did my EA Sports Big ranking video, link on screen right now, I think I rated Freakstyle as a C or a D because I just didn't get it when I first played it. But it is legitimately, of all of the EA Sports Big games since that video, my most played title from that kind of entire imprint. I love this game. It is absolutely magnificent. I missed so hard on this one. This should have been an A, possibly an S rank. It's a motocross game, but it's an over-the-top, ridiculous, action-packed, fantastical motocross game that needs to be played to be believed. It is fast. It is aggressive. It is decidedly early 2000s in its presentation, and I love everything about it. It is such a fantastic game, and something that is just like, what a wonderful racing experience, and what a remarkable way for EA Sports Big to kind of show off that they were more than just SSX. They were more than just NBA Street. This was something completely new and completely different, and we're better off for it. It's a wonderful, wonderful title.
Good tricks, Daddy.
Arcade sports started on the NES. Actually, they probably started earlier than that, but I am not an encyclopedia of knowledge when it comes to the Atari 2600 and the ColecoVision, so we're going to say it started on the NES with a giant asterisk. And there's a couple NES games on this list, but right now we're talking about Super Dodgeball, and it is a ridiculous experience because it is not at all like Dodgeball. I love the fact that they present it as something that is a serious sport and a serious game to take seriously, and it's just a goofy-ass game. It's ridiculous. You're able to choose from different teams, your characters have different abilities, and you're catching the ball and trying to knock out your opponent. It's fun. You can do super shots and things like that. I love it. I just love it. It is a good time, and it is one of the strongest multiplayer games on this list. Like, there's something to be said about a quality arcade sports game playing with your buddy. This is up there. It's a fantastic NES experience at the very least, and one of my favorite games on this list.
Find themselves down by 3 starting the second period.
And I couldn't do an arcade sports video without including a hockey game on here. It is my favorite sport. You guys know this. You guys appreciate the fact that it is my favorite sport. And I don't think it gets better for arcade sports action for the NHL or for hockey than NHL Hits 2002 on the GameCube. It is over the top. It is ridiculous. It is lightning fast. The hits are big. You can shatter the glass on hits. Guys get hit and their helmets get knocked off. Tim Kitzrow constantly yapping in your ear as you play. It is wonderful. The lineup of characters and players in the game are fantastic. The rinks are memorable. The gameplay is wonderful. There's different gameplay options as well. It's just fun. It is pure fun. And ultimately, that's what we need from an arcade sports title. It doesn't have to be over the top. It doesn't have to be in depth. It doesn't have to have huge gameplay loops or anything like that. It just needs to be memorable and fun. Absolutely magnificent. Love everything about NHL Hits 2002.
Knuckle duster for me. Hey, boy. Out! Man, he really landed that one. Wow, I heard that one up here. Right, that one was nasty. I think Thornton destroyed him.
Is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 an arcade sports game? I think it is, because it's not necessarily a perfect example of what skateboarding is. Like, there's certain aspects of it that I think are definitely more arcadey than they are simulation. I think if you're looking for a sim, go for Skate. If you're looking for arcade action, go for Tony Hawk. And Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 here, this is the Dreamcast version, is one of my favorite video games of all time. And you can't go wrong with any version of it. You know, even the remasters that released on modern consoles are fantastic. I just happen to prefer the original. I think it's a wonderful game. Great lineup of skaters that you can choose from. Lots of customization that you're able to do. The level designs are really fun with some really fun challenges in each one. It's built-in replay value, and I think that's something that a lot of arcade sports games do really well, is that they give you the core gameplay experience, but there's built-in replay value in each kind of stage, level, and progression as you go that's going to make you keep coming back for more. I love this game in particular. It has... I think this might be my favorite kind of like soundtrack game on this list, because the music in this game is stuff that I listen to regularly. So it was just like listening to my mixed CDs that I put together at the time. Just a fantastic game. And like, the Tony Hawk franchise is so storied and so legendary. It's hard to pick just one. This just happens to be my favorite at the time I recorded this video. I was really torn between going with one of the FIFA Street games or going with this one here. This is Mario Strikers on the GameCube, but ultimately I decided to go with Strikers because I think it's a more complete game overall, and all you FIFA Street fans can let me know in the comments how wrong I am. I understand you guys are very passionate about it. I respect that. I just happen to prefer Strikers. I really enjoy this one. It's a very, very ridiculous game, and I think it's probably... this or the Mario Baseball game that released on the GameCube as well are probably the best examples of what Mario Sports could be. Or at least what they could be for the GameCube generation, maybe the GameCube and Wii generation. I know there's some really strong proponents of the Wii games for Mario Sports, but I think that the GameCube is probably a little bit stronger overall. I think the GameCube controller lends itself better to a sports game than the Wii Remote does. I think this is just a really strong entry and a really fun way to play soccer. It makes soccer approachable for kids. It doesn't kind of like inundate you with rules and nuance. It's just play with Mario and his buddies and score goals. There's power-ups, there's great level designs, there's fun character involvements and interactions and things like that. And how much fun is it to just kind of like roll around as Wario or Princess Peach and score goals? I think it's awesome. No arcade sports game list is complete without the inclusion of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out or Punch-Out starring Mr. Dream from the NES. And honestly, you could put the SNES version or the Wii version on here as well, but I'm going to go back to the original just because that's where it started. I remember when I first got Mike Tyson's Punch-Out as a kid, how blown away I was by the gameplay. It was easy to understand. It wasn't traditional boxing by any stretch of the imagination. I watched boxing at the time. This was something decidedly goofier and sillier. The characters were over the top and memorable. The personalities were huge. The sprites of the opponents you were facing in the ring were massive, and your little guy, your little Mac, was itty-bitty. But it was great. It was so much fun, and just a perfect gameplay loop. I loved everything about it. I loved the reuse of characters as you went further in by giving them kind of different attack strategies or letting them learn from their previous fights with you. And there were memorable characters throughout, like, you know, even the single use characters like Glass Joe or King Hippo, things like that. Those are characters we all remember. We all enjoy fighting. And it's one of those games where when you play it, even if you haven't played it in years, you fall into the rhythm immediately and you remember the muscle memory right off the bat. It's just a perfect game. I really think it is. I think it's a perfect game. Not only is SSX3 a great arcade sports game, it is one of those games that is just a signature, kind of just overall representative of this console generation. There are certain games, I think, every generation that people will think about and go, oh yeah, definitely that one. And SSX3 is absolutely up there. You can't go wrong with any SSX game, for the record. They're all wonderful in their own way. Some of them are better than others. I think Tricky and 3 are the two best, but I think 3 gives a more complete experience overall, as much as I love Tricky. This game is super fun, incredibly fast, very, very difficult, and it gives you a really nice mix of challenges where once you master the actual race getting down the mountain, you can start augmenting that by adding different tricks and different bonuses and things like that, so you can actually go from just going a straight point A to point B race to kind of increasing your times, increasing your high scores and things like that. There's a lot of gameplay value built into the overall design of this title, and everything about it works. Great characters, amazing, amazing track designs, fun tricks to pull off. It's just fantastic. And like pretty much every EA Sports big game, one of the best soundtracks ever released.
The 10 best arcade sports games. This is going to be a wide and diverse list of games for people, because what I say doesn't make it right. This is just my opinion. As always, I would love to hear from you. What are your favorite arcade sports titles? I know a lot of people love NFL Street and NFL Street 2, the FIFA Street games. Those are great. They just didn't make the list for me. I happen to go for other types of games. Obviously, you've seen my list. That's why things like SSX and Hot Shots Golf and things like that are on here. I would love to hear from you though. Let me know what your favorites are. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you want to stick around. We're on our way to 20K. And until next time, remember to play more games, stay square, and take care. I'll talk to you soon.